All right. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope all is well. We got Kerbal loaded up here. I haven't started anything. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't take away, you guys can't see it, but it doesn't take away my taskbar at the bottom. And then for whatever reason, it's not locked in full Windows mode. It doesn't show. I was looking at all this earlier, but it doesn't really. I don't know. Here. All right, let's start. Hope everybody's had a good week so far. Nothing too tasking. Career. 7. 2 different flags. Oh, that's cool. Just use the Kerbal. In career mode, you have to manage all aspects of your space program. Funds, reputation, and science are all active. And contracts are available at mission control. Normal. All right, we'll see what happens. Welcome to the Space Center. Nice to meet you. I'm Gene Kerbal, Flight Director, and your guide for this quick introduction. This is Space Center. Here you can manage all aspects of the space program. Feel free to have a look around, hold the right mouse button to move the camera, or use the arrow keys. Right-click over the Space Center facilities to view more about them, and left-click when you're ready to head inside. Need more information? Check out the training section at the main menu. Okay. Typical Q&E rotate. No, how do we rotate? We don't rotate. Interesting. What do we do here? Research, right, sell out. Not grant. Okay. $25,000 verbal bucks. But courage and stupidity. Vessel science return 100%. Part science return 100%. What does this cost us? I need 62,000. So how do we get funds then? Welcome to the vehicle assembly building. Hello, I'm Werner von Herman, Chief Rocketry Engineer. This is the vehicle assembly building where we build spacecraft and later roll them out to the launch pad for flight. Pretty impressive, isn't it? On our left, you'll find components to construct your own spacecraft. Select a starting part, then attach others to it to build a ship. You can then have a look around with the right mouse button or the left arrow or the arrow keys. That's it really. God, if I could read this morning, it's not as if it were rockets. Oh. Anyhow, if you need a more in-depth explanation on how to build, have a look at the training section of the main menu. We didn't really. Odds. And here we go with the mic today again. So apparently, drag and drop. I mean, what? In structure. Oh, I see. What about aerodynamics? How do we? So this is going to be a two-hander, huh? So why can't we? I don't think that's going to work very well. We have those right. Why can't we get this one right? Can you only put you on? Oh, there we go. Okay. Thermals, we have electric, no communications, mystery goo, EVA jetpack, and that. Well, that'll cost us $1,300. I don't understand why. Our sports. Oh, this mic is going to drive me nuts. I don't understand how it worked fine for so long, and then all of a sudden now it's you hide the taskbar for whatever reason. My taskbar is the game won't do full. You know what? Let's try this. Wait. And save, launch. Launch it. Let's see what happens. See what happens. Oh, nothing. Interesting. So, how do we? I see. Okay. So can we go back and do the how do we get out of this? Dude, I literally cannot see anything. I had no issues, and then all of a sudden now I got barely see. What does it say? We need to exit out of this. Exit the main menu. Let's go back. Settings. Apparently, try that, I guess. Start game. Zoom save. Can we see anything now? Absolutely not. Bar's still there. This is really gonna upset me. So why do we have shadow ambience? Camera. Vision. UI skill. All effects of the above UI scaling. I don't understand what this is. Oh, secret. We didn't change anything, but I don't know how to get this game to full screen. This is really upsetting. Normal. Pixel, shadow. Refresh. I don't see anything with full screen mode here. Okay. To main menu. We need to do training anyway, but hide nav. I'll hide nav ball, and we don't need the map ball. Full screen right here. Let's go back to 1920 by 1080. That's what my monitor is. Don't really need it limited, but that's fine. Closest approach for target. Doesn't say anything about pitch down for job roll. Translate. maybe the left and the right. KI. Throttle up, throttle down. Launch, transition, rotation. Landing gear. Kerbals. Game. Toggle mouse look. Oh, that toggle to the mouse look. Draw. There's a lot to this. It's keyboard. Okay. Okay. Let's go to training. Start. Welcome to today's lecture on vessel construction. I'm Werner von Kerman. Whether you want to put a satellite in orbit, make a transcontinental flight, or step into the very surface of the moon, you're going to need to build yourself a ship. It should be pretty easy, even if you're not a famous rocket scientist like myself. In this tutorial, I'll first show you around the Kerbal Space Center, then take you to the vehicle assembly building where you learn how to construct a simple ship. We'll cover adding and removing parts, what the parts do, how to change performance settings of the parts, which have the option, and how to control staging. At the end of the tutorial, you'll have a craft fit for a quick hop from the launch pad. At each step, I will lock out all controls other than the ones you need for the steps. If you still manage to mess up, it took even me some time to become as skilled as I am now. You can press the back button, go back to fix things. It won't lighten up unless you do mess up. It won't light up unless you mess up. Good lord, dude, I didn't know I was reading a book. We are now at the Kerbal Space Center. I'll give you a quick rundown of how to get around. The KSC for short is a home to the pinnacle of Kerbal endeavor and achievements from space exploration. Using the facility you can see here, you will be able to manage your space program, create rockets and planes, track your Kerbal explorers as they roam the solar system, find existing new uses for explosive substances, and in case of emergency, hire more Kerbals. Find out about each of the facilities. You can hover your mouse over them or the facility buttons. They show up when the cursor is outside the window. If you need to repair structure or upgrade them in career, you can do this by right-clicking them. Take some time to hover the mouse over the building and see what they each are, and when you are ready, enter the vehicle assembly building. Okay, vehicle assembly building, space plane hangar, allows you to construct the spacecraft design and launch for the runway, astronaut complex, administration buildings, research and development, tracking, vehicle, mission control, launch pad. Alright, so let's go in here. Inside the map. Very good. What you see in the middle of the screen is the construction area. This is where parts are placed and your craft is constructed. On the left side of the screen is the parts toolbox. It will show all the parts you have available in each of the different categories. Once there are any to pick, that is. If you want your craft to be controllable, you need a command module, and it's best to make it first. Make it the first part you place. This part will either contain some plucky Kerbal crew or an automated pilot mechanism. As we're just starting, there's only one choice. Go ahead and pick the command module from the Pods tab. Okay. After at least one part is placed, you can look around with the following: arrow keys or right mouse drag. Okay. Move the camera up and down. Zoom to the center. Mouse scroll wheel. You know, it'd be nice just to put. Keypad plus, keypad minus. Yeah, see, that doesn't do anything. Wow. Now it is. Something definitely wonky with this. If you'd like your pilot to be able to make more than one flight, he or she will have to return safely to the ground or water on Kerbal. Parachutes are a simple way to make sure that happens. They can be found on the Utility tab. Change tabs by clicking their icon on the left part list window. When you're choosing parts, you can view the details of available parts by hovering over them in the toolbox. When the info is visible, most parts have an additional information window which can be opened with a right click. Note that the parachute states the effective diameter in each state and what the maximum safe speed for deployment is. Go ahead and select the MK16 parachute by left clicking on it. Then move it to the top of the command pod so that the green sphere at the bottom of the parachute lines up with the green sphere at the top of the pod. Click again to attach. Alright, so we need the was it utility. Next. Adjusting part options. Some parts, like our parachute here, have configurable options. To see these, we need to right-click on the parachute we just attached to the pod. Do that now, and you will see the available parameters. Altitude 1,000 feet, min pressure 0.04. I'm guessing that's bar. On the parachute, we'll see that we can adjust our altitude and the atmospheric pressure to which to open. That setting can be quite useful on distant worlds. For now, let's check the opening height on the chute is at least 1,000 meters. feet. Not 1,000 meters. We'll say 1,200. Safety to Kerbal way. Thanks, Buds G. Appreciate you. For now, let's check out the. For now, let's check the opening height on the chute as it's at least 1,000 meters because safety is the Kerbal way after all. For the min pressure slider, move it to a bit to the right to 0.02. We were. 0.2. This setting prevents the chute from activating until the atmospheric pressure is above the configured value. Kerbal 0.2 is about 9 kilometers in altitude. So even if you stage early in the arm, the parachute, it will wait until then to activate. You can hide these options by right-clicking on the background signs, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Next up, we're going to need engines. Grab one connected to the bottom of the pod. Soon is about to move it to make the camera. Ooh. Check out our rocket. Oops, I forgot you're just starting out. You're not a famous rocket scientist, and to make the craft survivable, as it stands now, you have to do better at rocket science than me. Possible. The problem with the craft is that this solid rocket is too powerful for the payload. Putting a small pod in a chute, it will either burn up on the ascent from going too fast or burn up coming back down. Even if you survive that, the craft's mass will cause it to fall too fast and the parachute to operate properly, and you hit the surface before it could stop you. Okay, I promise to teach you how to change that to make it work later in the tutorial, but for now, let's continue. Well, at least this way I can get to tell you about removing parts. Pick up the back thumper and either drop it back over the parts toolbox or press delete. Okay. The right solid motor. Instead, let's add the solid motor that's a better match for the ship of the size. Start of your career, you will have what I consider rubbish parts, literally. The motors here look like... and they may well be a converted trash can. That said, it does have enough oomph to get us off. Okay. We have a flea solid booster now. Staging stack. Nice one. You built the simplest survival craft possible. We could go launch this right now, but it might be safer to explain one other thing first. In the bottom right, you will see the staging stack. It's the box with the number 0 and icons for the parachute engine in it. The stack shows us which parts will be activated as we stage our rocket. What this shows is that when we activate the next stage, both the engines and the parachute will be triggered. While it could be considered funny to open the chutes and fire the motor at the same time, it's not going to give you much of a flight. To fix this, we need to separate the engine and chute into 2 stages. If you mouse over the 0 stage, you will see a little plus and a minus to the left of the box. Click the plus button to add a new stage. If you add too many, click the minus button. Okay. Make sure you have precisely 2 stages. Okay. Guessing they're counting 0. Excellent. It's important to note that the stages activate from the highest number and count down. So our first stage will be stage 1, the engines, and our second stage will be stage 0, the chute. Okay, now drag the... oh, check that out. That's it. We now have a safe, relatively safe craft that's ready to go. Let's make sure that if we need this design again, we don't have to build it all from scratch. At the top of the screen, you'll see the name of our craft. Untitled Spacecraft. Doesn't seem too majestic. Why don't you change that to be something more your style? And you can add a description if you'd like to. When you use load screens later, these names and descriptions will help you grab the right vessel. When you're happy with the name, click on the save icon in the upper right. When you have to click on the save icon in the upper right. Guessing this. Okay. Excellent work. Feel free to play around with the parts and techniques I've shown you, and when you're ready to continue, press the red button in the upper right to exit. Back to the training menu, try the Flight Basics tutorial to learn how to fly the little craft, and then the Intermediate Construction tutorial to teach you more about the editor. Any vessels you create here will be lost when you exit. This is just for playing around. Okay. Bill Kerman, Bob Kerman, Valentina Kerman. We have Jebediah in there right now. Okay. We launch it. No, I won't let us launch it. Alright, well, let's leave that. Okay, we do that. Let's do basic flight. Welcome to the Kerbal Space Center Launch Facility. I'm Gene Kerman. I will teach you the basics of piloting spacecraft. I trust you've already checked the basic construction tutorial. If not, I recommend you do so before going through this one. Today we'll do a run through of the important controls of your spacecraft. Our little hopper from your basic construction lesson with Werner may not have all of them, but we will do a full range through once and see how it flies. Next. Flying a spacecraft is all about being in control of a generally very chaotic situation. As a pilot, your main flight controls will affect the pitch, yaw, and roll of the ship. Let's look at those first. Okay, pitch, yaw, and roll are the three directions you want to rotate your craft. To help to visualize them, we've taken a holiday stamp of the hopper below. Control your ship rotation using these controls. We have pitch up, pitch down. That's a W, A and D's roll, Q and E is yaw, and then Q and E is roll. By controlling pitch, yaw, and roll together, you can keep the ship in a controlled flight. Try it now, and you'll notice indicate that the lower left side move the. Right now, notice that the indicator on the lower left side moves as you provide control input. Of course, I can't see the very bottom one because for whatever reason, this R. How do I hide this taskbar? Uh, this one? Okay. And it's still on. That is awesome. Main taskbar and taskbar where window is open. Taskbar where window is open. What about this one? This one? This one. And nope, still there. That is awesome. Can't see the lower thing that I need to see. And I know in this game was going to be all about this crap. We just would have played Cosmeteer again today. Share any window from my taskbar. What's this do? What about this? Does that fix it? No, it does not. What about this? Does that fix it? No, it does not. What about this? Does that fix it? No, it does not. What about taskbar? How about I want to show. Does this one fix it again? No. This is really upsetting. Clear any window from my taskbar. No. Main taskbar at taskbar. It's open. Okay, so you should click off. And no. Whatever, dude. Alright, so let's just keep going. I'll figure it out. Throttle plus pitch on roll are the main controls you'll need to master for a successful crash-free flight. We'll skip over the throttle control for now, as this vessel has no need for it. Don't worry, I'll explain it another time when it's of use. Remember that all these controls have a limited amount of effectiveness, so bigger, heavier ships will probably respond much more sluggishly to the controls than a little small one. It's also good to keep in mind that the stages are separated from the ship. It will become lighter and it will usually mean easier to control. Next, let's look at the rest of the flight controls. In flight, all the planning you put into the staging sequence of your ship comes into play. From launch to the final deployment of the descent parachute, you control the activation of several of your ship's parts by activating stages. Space, launch, activate, next stage. Notice the stage indicator in the lower left corner. It shows the current active stage. Since we haven't launched yet, it's showing that the first stage is active. I have your staging controls locked for now, so the stage indicator is glowing purple. One more thing on staging. If the staging setup is causing strife, or you change your mind about something, you can edit the stage sequence on the fly. Unintended, no need to go back to the assembly facility. An important part of flying is knowing how your ship is oriented and where it's going. That's why a good pilot is always aware of the ship's attitude, where it's pointing, and the velocity vector, where it is going. These aren't always the same direction, and as your skills improve, you should pick up on these. The big round instrument in the lower center of the screen is called the nav ball. This device sums up most of the critical information needed for proper death-free flight. Here you see the ship's nose in relation to the horizon. You're not pointing straight up. It's easily visible as a line between blue sky and brown ground, as well as its heading, compass bearing, and speed. You also get several icons that indicate things like your current velocity vector, but we'll have to look at those later. Flight instruments. In the top center part of your screen, you have your altimeter, vertical speed indicator, and atmosphere gauges. Altimeter will show the distance of the planet's surface at sea level, which means the actual surface may be much closer, so watch out for ground when landing. Your vertical speed indicator shows how quickly your altitude is changing. When launching, it's considered best to keep this gauge pointing up. Yeah, that would be a good idea. The atmosphere gauge indicates how deep the ship is in the planet's atmosphere. This helps you know if the ship is high enough for orbiting without losing speed to air resistance, or judge how effective wings and control surfaces will be. Parachute indicator. One last thing before we give the rocket the green light. Excuse me. In the staging stack, you can see the indicator for your parachute. This indicator shows when the chute will be active by staging. You already know that, but the background will also change color to indicate when it is safe to stage the parachute. And the foreground, the parachute bit of the icon itself, will change color depending on the parachute state. Note, however, that by default parachutes will not deploy when unsafe, even if you stage them. The left three show safety: safe, risky, and unsafe to deploy the chute and unstaged white in the left three. The right three show state after staging, armed, deployed, and cut shredding. When you are familiar with the shoot icon colors, we can move on. Okay. This is safe, risky, and unsafe. This is armed, deployed, and shredding. Okay, enough task. I'll unlock the flight controls and you'll be able to clear them for launch. At the time, you may press escape to pause the game, and the pause menu you can restart the flight or end the tutorial, choose end scenario, and return to the main menu. For now, get yourself prepared and hit space when ready to launch. Don't forget, our hopper has only a solid rocket motor, so there's no throttle control. That's why we didn't review the throttle here. Make sure you to fly in a nice high arc and enjoy your flight. Okay. Uh, oh, now we're death spiraling. How do we do our parachute? I forget. Oh, there we go. Automatic. No, 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 no. Now we need to be the other way. Well, check that out. Kind of missed it. We're coming down now. So I guess on this one, you just didn't put any landing gear on, but it didn't tell us to, so. Well done, use 5. When you're landed or splashed on Kerbal and not in training, you can point the mouse just above the altimeter and click the recover button on the panel that slides down to ask to be picked up. Oh, look at that. I've also unlocked the crew hatch, so if you feel like you're going out for a walk or swim, you can click the EVA. Where was that at? That will pop up on your mouse over. Dude, this is driving me nuts with this. Pop up on your mouse over the portrait of the Kerbal. Oh, here we go. Time out. Space. Ah! He's got a huge. His head's huge. Like a mater. Alright, so what's the rest of this? Yeah, send scenario. This, we did this. This tutorial presented by famous rocket scientist Werner von covers how to design the craft that can escape Kerbal's atmosphere and return safely. Let's try this. Alright. Here we are again, now to business. Remember in our last construction tutorial we covered how to build a simple hopper and some of the basics of the construction area. In this tutorial we'll expand your knowledge of some of the more useful features of the VAB, and we'll build a more complex craft that will be able to get us out of the atmosphere. Build our new design. Let's start with the craft we built in the basic construction tutorial. Through this one, it's just called the hopper. Though this one is just called. This will save us a little bit of time. And the accounting departments always happen when we save on time. Click on the open button in the top right corner, and then the hop. Open. Hopper. Load. And remove its RT5 flea motor. If you mess up, you can recreate the craft from the parts list by placing the pod first, then a parachute. If you delete the craft file somehow, click load. Dialog blah. Like last time, we won't be bearing the whole vessel back. We won't be bringing the whole vessel back, so we can change our parachute stat from what we used before. Right-click on the parachute and verify that its deployment altitude is set to 1,000 meters as last time, but also set the minimum pressure slider all the way to the right, 0.75. So we go all the way to the right, 0.75. This corresponds to altitude on Kerbal of about 2 kilometers, which means it's much shorter hanging around during descent. First off, let's change the name of our craft and our description if you want, so that we will have our trash can special for later. Simply change the name of something other than hopper so we can proceed. We'll do trash can. Okay, and then assuming it wants me to save it. Great. For this craft, we are going to give the ship some additional purpose by attaching a science experiment. We can run these experiments during our travels to get valuable science data from Kerbal kind. There are a number of science experiments to be performed, but at the moment we only have the mystery goo container unit available. Switch to the science tab to look at it. Where was it at? Was it up here? This is one of the most basic scientific experiments Kerbal scientists have devised, and one of the first things they want to try and understand better. I mean, they don't even know what color the goo is. When you pick up the part, you will see that it's designed to attach the side of other parts, i.e. radially. If we attach only one of these, then during flight our crew will be unbalanced. One way to solve this is to add an extra goo container to the opposite side of the rocket so they balance. Luckily, we have a symmetry tool to help you here. Okay, so here. What was the rotate? This one. Or was it the mouse? That one brings you in. It's not. Why does none of the rotation? Oh, basically there, so this one needs to go up here. These tab, these buttons control symmetry. And of course, they're down where I cannot even see them. And angle snap. Am I able just to grab this and drag it down? No, I'm not. Staging information. These buttons control symmetry. The angle snaps and can be found in the lower left of the screen. Press the symmetry button or press X key to cycle through available symmetry. No, nothing's happening. Set this to 2x and then pick up and place the mystery goo container on the side of the pool of the pod near the top, blah blah blah. Really, dude? I can't even get to where it's wanting me to get to. This is what's screwed up. And then it won't let me go near the nose. So we just want 2. Alright. If we add too many more parts here, the craft we are making will be too heavy to survive re-entry safely, and too heavy to be slowed by our parachute. So we will need to add a decoupler below the pool, the pod. What's the coupler? Couplers can be used in many ways, but for now, let's just add one of these to the bottom of the pod. Grab the Pt1. Next. Well done. You recall, I hope, that in the previous tutorial we had adjusted the staging stack when we added the engine to our earlier rocket. When you add a decoupler, the extra stage is automatically added to the stack, so that the new parts below the decoupler won't be staged at the same time as those above it. Okay. Adding some fuel. This time we are going to use liquid propellant rocket engine. Unlike solid rockets, these engines don't carry their own propellants with them, so we need to add some fuel. Go to the fuel tanks tab. We are still using these early parts so that there are only Pt100s available. It's another area. Like engines, where advancement brings bigger and better parts. I'm guessing we go there. We need 5 of these tanks to get us to space. Before you grab 5 tanks from the part toolbox, though, let me give you another tip, because efficiency is my middle name. It goes right after Vaughn. Once you place the first tank on the rocket, you can duplicate that by holding the left Alt key. You did not hit X, sir. One. Hold left Alt key. So do we do this? Oh, it took our coupler off. Where's our coupler? Wings. Here. Fuel. Key and clicking on the tank. Now we have 4, 5. Okay, you can do this at the bottom of the tank 2 times. 5. 5 to the best of them we can proceed. I thought we had 5 added. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. Dude. You can do this on the bottom tank a few times until you get 5 of those attached without having to go back to the toolbox. Okay, so do we need 6 in total then? Oh, damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, dude. This game is already pissing me off. I don't have patience for this kind of crap. I move nothing, and then it brings this up. There. There's 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy crap. Take all this back off. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 2 gives you 4. 4 gives you 5. We have 5. It still does not let us go to next. Do this on the bottom. Tank a few times until we get 5. Add 5 FTL fuel tanks to the vessel and we can proceed. Added 5 multiple times, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still nothing. Do we have 2 couplers or something on? I mean, what's the problem? Is that what it is? We had 2 couplers on. Switch over to the engines tab. Swivel, engine. Patch it. We're almost there, and you're doing fine. Maybe not, no. You're not as speedies as someone of this caliber, blah, 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 blah. A little better stability, so keep going the way you want to go. We will achieve this way by adding fins for the aerodynamics. Set the symmetry mode to 4x. Dude, I can't even see the symmetry mode. I have no idea what... 2, 4. Okay. I can barely do it. I have to look in my OBS in order to see that. Drop a basic fin. So turn on angle snap. Clicking the button to the symmetry icon. This, I guess. The last rocket tank. Okay. Now we gotta rock the let's reach the stars. You can show yourself out of the constructive. Okay. Launch it. I do not have the patience for a game like this. I'm telling you guys that now. Well, okay. So launching should no. I didn't do it. So I can't even see what that is at the bottom. Manual mode. Did we not fill it up? So we hit space to launch, correct? Nothing happened. Except we fall over. Said we had fuel. All right. I think this is going to be an epic fail. Divert flight. I don't. It's not. I mean, it's supposed to be full. It's not launching. I can't see what this does. Yeah, see, I can't even click on anything. You guys will see it, but it kicks me back to the windows. For whatever reason, there's. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so how do we change views now? But you can't like click outside. We have no ignition. You know, stage, high speed thrust. What does this do? Nothing. Get to main. Exit to main. All right. Prior. Scientific mode. To the moon. Okay. Let's try figuring this out our way. Because it's not a whole lot of fun at the moment for me. I'm not going to play a game. I mean, I understand I'm having some issues, but So, do we need to... save and continue. Research and development. Technology costs. Okay. Need 63,000. Fundraising campaign. Cost 7 stars. Where's the 7 stars? Setup cost 70,000. Can do nothing with that. Space plane hangar. Can we make some planes? Okay, so I guess we need to build a rocket. Build it with space. Things we don't have. We don't have. We don't have. We'll bring that back. Now that. That. Actually, let's move them up. We need, what was our... There. Two, four. Science! Should be it, right? That's already on. So apparently there's one, vehicle, simply building, save and continue. Saying there's one already on the launch pad. On launch pad. Oh, this one. So, how do we... We want to toggle light, toggle gear. How do we tell it to commit it? I'll never get that back. Okay. So it didn't excuse me, it didn't we didn't save anything. Thought we just told it to save. Cancel. No, it's not what we wanted. We wanted utility. Okay. Launch. Next. Done. I don't know. And free fall. Oh crap. Back the other way. Oh no. Ah, we didn't do the two separations. There we go. Do this. Oh, holy crap. I think my guy's gonna get sick. That's what I'm thinking. or he's gonna die. It's just hanging. Can transmit science. I think that's a cow over there. Hey, we're on the golf course. Look at that. We landed. All right, so how do we tell them to come pick it up? I have no idea. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna shut this stream down. We're gonna go back and we're gonna play. This game could be fun, but it's just causing too many issues for me. I don't have the patience for it right now. We're gonna play Cosmeteer. That's what we're gonna do. So give me like 25, 30 minutes. I need to figure out why my mic's shutting down again after I restart everything. Um, and did that. I can't get the task bar off the bottom of this Kirby one, so I can't see like all this stuff that you guys see down here. I don't have this. My taskbar cuts like right through this. There's a lot of stuff I'm missing. We'll work on that later. You know, I mean this right now this game just isn't. I'm not feeling it, and I'm not saying it's the game. It's just me. There's a lot of stuff that you got to sit down and do. I thought this was going to be a simpler kind of point and click kind of thing, something where I didn't have to think today, but it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut the stream down, and I will be back like 20, 30 minutes. I want to try and figure out what the deal is with this mic. If not, I'm just going to use the mic in my headset, and we'll be good to go for Cosmeteer. So I'll see everybody in a bit. Sorry that, you know, I've got to change, but this game just isn't for me at the moment. No, I don't have to poop. The, I'm not fooling anyone. No, I don't have to poop. If I would, I mean, I would tell you. I would even take you in the bathroom with me if you wanted, but I doubt you really want to see that. But anyway, let me change this out. Give me like 20, 30 minutes and we'll be good. And I'll see everybody back in a bit.